Hi, everybody. I'm Suzanne Shirley, Emerald Ambassador with Plexus, and tonight we are continuing, and I don't have my cover, so I'll just do this. We are continuing Noah St. John, The Secret Code of Success, and we are in Chapter 8 called Who Are You Trying to Protect, Punish, or Please? And if you look at the triangle little pyramid thing, it's the fifth step from the bottom. So we are almost to the top of the pyramid of success. And I think this is a pivotal chapter, even though it's very short. It's pivotal. It's really, really powerful too. So, heat not a furnace for your foe, so hot that it do singe yourself. I love that quote. And that's by William Shakespeare. In other words, don't scorn the people that you technically don't like or you're opposed to. Don't scorn them so much and get enraged so much that it builds up a fire and that it burns you. Okay? And I think that just goes apart. It's a part of the chapter. That means punishing somebody, obviously. We've all done that. We've all done all three of these things. Every one of us has done these things. He talks about a gal named Barbara who spent all these thousands of dollars and years of her life to try to be successful. And she had all of these, was in this direct selling business, and she had all these training programs, and she had worked 10 years as an on-air personality and was not shy at all about talking to people, but she couldn't reach the level of success that she was capable of. She just couldn't reach it. And I think that she found out, you'll see here in a few minutes, that she found out one of the reasons was some of the things that are in this chapter right here. So that's why Noah St. John makes such a big deal out of this chapter. Who are you trying to protect? Now, he talks about these as in things that are holding you back to being successful, but also, my friends, these are holding you back from just being happy in life. If you want to just be really, really frank about it, yes, this is holding you back from success 100%. But first, it's holding you back from being happy. You just don't even have any happiness if you're trying to always punish somebody, or if you're always trying to protect somebody, or if you're always trying to please somebody, because you're not putting yourself in the kind of respect that you need to. You're not having the respect and the self-love for yourself. You're thinking about the needs of others too much. You're sacrificing. I posted this morning about holding on too tightly. And that just came to me because this chapter really talks about all three of these things: pleasing, punishing, and protecting. And when you're pleasing somebody too much, you're punishing somebody too much, you're protecting somebody too much, you're doing a lot of hard work. And that hard work is essentially holding on to something. And I love this graphic that I found. Sometimes it's less painful to just let go. It's less painful just to let go. Medea, Tyler Perry, I can't play, I guess I could find it. But he had, I'm going to just go find it real quick. Yeah, I found it. It's out there. Medea just says, let people go, let folks go, let them be who they're going to be. And I'm just going to play it real quick. It's only 5 minutes and 2 seconds long, and this is a short chapter anyway. We're going to be done talking about it by 7:30. I can't even imagine that we're going to be talking about it after that. So I'm praying that this will actually be the clip I'm looking for. And I'm going to share. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Hang on. So just bear with me for a second, okay? Here we go. I want you to watch this. I think it's pivotal. All right.
They'll lead you in the right direction. I hear you, my dear. What am I supposed to do now? Get up and go on with your life? It's all right to sit around, be depressed for a minute, cry about it, do whatever you have to, but don't stay there too long. Get up and go on with your life. So you know what this is what I learned in all these years on this earth. If somebody want to walk out of your life, let them go. Especially if you know you done everything you can do, you done sat around and been the best man or the best woman you could be, and they still want to go, let them go. Whatever they running after, they'll see what they had in a minute, but by then it's going to be too late. Because you'll sit there and you'll go. Because half these people you be sitting around crying about it, worry about 2-3 years from now, you ain't going to even remember their last name. How many times you done seen folks somewhere, you be like, what the hell was I thinking? I done been there, I be like, what was wrong with me? What was I going through? I must have been lonely as hell to hook up with you. Let folks go, son. Some people come in your life for a lifetime, some come for a season. You got to know which is which. And you're going to always mess up when you mix them seasonal people up with lifetime expectations. You can't, they got people that got married with people they was only supposed to be with for a season. And they got married to people they only supposed to be with for a season and wonder why they're having so much hell in their life. That was a person that was supposed to come and teach you one thing. You didn't know it, so you just fell in love. And now you wonder why, hey, you ain't got no peace, nowhere you go. No. Listen, I put everybody that come in my life in the category of a tree. Some people are like leaves on a tree. The wind blow, they over here. They unstable. The blow the other way, they over here. Ain't nothing. Season change, they wither and die. They gone. That's all right. That's some people. Most people in the world are like that. They just there to take from the tree. They ain't there to do nothing but take and give shade every now and then. That's all they can do. But don't get mad at people like that. That's who they are. They ain't gonna never be nothing. That's what they put on this earth to be, but be what they are, at least. Some people are like a branch on that tree. You gotta be careful with them branches too, because they'll fool you. They'll get there and make you think they're a good friend and they're real strong, but the minute you step out there on them, they'll break and leave you high and dry. Mm-hmm. But if you find you 2 or 3 people in your life that's like the roots at the bottom of that tree, you are blessed, because them the kind of people that ain't going nowhere. They ain't worried about being seen. Don't nobody have to know that they know you. They ain't got to know what they're doing for you. But if them roots wasn't there, that tree couldn't live. You understand? And they ain't got a whole, a tree can have 100 million branches, but only a few roots down at the bottom to make sure it get everything it needs. I'm telling you something. When you get you some roots, hold on to them. But the rest of them, let it go. Just let it go. Let folks go. It's not always that easy. Ain't nobody said it was going to be easy, but it'll get easy when you learn how to love yourself. Mm-hmm. When you get to a point in your life where you look at people and you go, okay, wait a minute, you or me, you will make a decision. Because when you telling folks to do something, and I never throw nobody away, I've never in my life just thrown nobody would just say, look, don't bother me no more, don't talk to me. I've never done it. What I do is I tell you, say, look, this thing you're doing right here, that's going to cause a problem. You need to fix that, because if we're going to be friends, we're going to be cool, you got to fix that. And if you don't, we're going to have an issue. If you see somebody fix it or they even trying to fix it, that's somebody that care. Keep them people around. That's a leaf that's trying to grow up and be something else. You understand? But if you tell somebody that what you're doing is hurting me and I need you to stop it, and they keep doing it, they don't care. Move on. Let them go. No matter how much it hurt, let them go.
Amen.
And it'll get easy. I promise you, every day it'll get easier and easier and easier. You just got to make it through. You hear me, son? And see, you got to learn how to be by yourself, son. People have to learn how to be alone. I don't understand all these people. Oh, I need somebody. Lord, where's my man? Lord, where's my wife? That is crazy as hell. If you don't know how to be by yourself, what you going to do with somebody else? Stop praying about it. Shut up and wait. Go work on you. Hell, that's what that time is for, to get yourself together. I'd rather be in a corner by myself with a puppy and a goldfish and be happy than to be sitting around with somebody in my house. I'm wondering what the hell they there for. You would be surprised the things people put up with just to have somebody to say they love them. I don't understand. I can't live in dysfunction. I'm sorry. Nope. I'm sorry. I done come through too much, been through too much hell and high water to come there and let you come up in my adult life where I'm supposed to be at peace and give me all kind of hell. Only 2 places on this earth you're going to have peace: the grave and your house. Now, if you can't walk up in your house and you ain't got no peace, something wrong. Something wrong. I'm sorry. People be rebuking Satan. I be rebuking Satan and beating the hell out of everything that's up in there until they get out. I'm sorry. You got to go.
Okay, so awesome. That was really great. I'm going to stop my screen share if I can figure out how to do it. I think she just is pivotal in making such huge points about how to live your life in a healthy mindset regarding individuals and things that we hold on to for too long. You know, we end up hurting ourselves. You know, sometimes it says sometimes holding on does more damage than just letting go. Holding on does way more damage than just letting go. Let people be who they're going to be. Let them do what they're going to do. Let them say what they're going to say. Let them think what they're going to think. And you go and be you. And when you stop needing to please people, and when you stop needing to punish people because they're not acting the way you expect them to act, and when you stop, what's the other one that he says? Protecting someone for various different reasons and things, then you're stopping making others your focus. Now, there's a great thing to do to help and serve others. Absolutely. There's a place and a time to serve others. But when it does a disservice to you, when it is not serving you and you become the focal point of all this strife and tension, then it does nothing but destroy you. So, and he's using it in the terms of being successful. So if you're thinking about just being happy, she's talking about just being happy. So being happy is probably a precursor to success. Wouldn't you agree? I just think it's just a pivotal thing. So I'm just going to touch on a few things. So who are you trying to protect? A lot of times he says this one is the most hidden. You're protecting someone, and it's the most hidden because it's a subconscious reason we hold ourselves back from success. We are unknowingly trying to protect somebody else from our own success because they're going to be upset with it. They're not going to react nicely to it. They're not going to be happy with our success, or they're going to be upset with it. So we're going to protect them and their feelings. And really, that's terrible, because who are we hurting? We're hurting ourselves. We're not helping anyone. Barbara realized that with her husband, it dawned on her that she was holding herself back from success to protect her husband. And she realized for the very first time that she was afraid that if she became a truly successful person that she knew she could be, his ego might get bruised. And what if he didn't love her anymore? And you know what? What if he actually left her? She was like, what if he leaves me? And what did Medea just say? If you're alone, it's okay. People have to learn how to be alone. I was talking about this with a friend of mine. How many times have you lost a friend? Okay. We've just had people come in and come out of our lives. They disappoint us. They do things that we don't expect them to do. They do things to us that we would never see ourselves doing to someone else. Do you relate to that? Yes. And then we get so angry and we just don't want to be alone. Well, the fact is we need to be okay with being alone. We need to be okay with letting that unhealthy person or whatever that situation is that they did, just let them go on and be okay with it and love them from afar. Be nice to them, be kind to them, but just be okay with being alone, because really alone is not going to kill you. You're going to find some way to find the real root type people that she's talking about that are going to be there for you in the long haul when the going gets tough, and they're not going to leave you when things get rough. She had no idea that she was actually doing what she was doing. This was a subconscious thing. So this one's probably, he says, the hardest one to detect. Because you're trying to protect somebody from your own success, and it's one of the toughest why not to's to discover, he says. She was basically protecting herself from the pain of abandonment. So she had two things to choose from: be successful or he might leave me. And so she chose to protect him, push success off, and kept from herself from being successful to protect herself from being abandoned. Now that's so you have to ask yourself some questions to figure out, getting down to the quick of it. Why am I doing this? So who am I trying to protect? Who is it? And why am I doing it? And then how has that served me? How has that really served me? Okay. Moving on. You need to ask yourself, how has holding yourself back helped you or served you? And that's one of the questions I asked on that post today. Okay, so who are you trying to punish? Here's an example. I'm mad at my parents because they didn't do what I wanted them to do, so I'm going to punish them by not succeeding so that they cannot point out to me and say what a good job that they did as parents. Ha ha, I'll show them. Roxy, what are you saying? I'm looking at your, people are saying stuff. Protecting yourself. Okay, yeah. Yes. I'm going to go ahead. I know you just wrote this to me, but it's really powerful. So I'm going to just go ahead and say it. I hope you're okay with that. Is it possible that we can protect ourselves from ourselves? Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And failure is one of the biggest ones. You are so afraid of failing, so we're not going to attempt to succeed. Absolutely. That's one of the biggest, most common ones of all. You are afraid, like this woman was afraid he would leave her. So she kept herself from success. Well, we're afraid that we're going to be a failure and we won't be able to handle that feeling of failure. And we won't be able to handle what people think of us if we fail and others' opinions. So we just stop. So yeah, it's all, okay, he talks about fear here in a second. Okay, and so I love this, the power of I'll show you. Oh my gosh, this is so powerful, right? How many times has somebody been so mad at you that they've said, I'll show you? Or maybe the tables were turned. You were so mad at somebody else because they didn't meet your expectations. By the way, the great Susie McCrae, who's a good friend of mine, says, just get rid of your expectations. Don't lower your expectations. I'm always thinking, lower your expectations, raise your level of commitment. And really what we need to do is get rid of expectations. Just completely annihilate them. Get rid of expectations, because people are going to disappoint you. They're going to hurt you. They're going to stomp all over your feelings, and they don't even know they're doing it. So the power of I'll show you. This is a sentence that you need to put on your desk somewhere. That's how powerful this sentence is, because 50% of the people out there have driven themselves to fail after they've said, I'll show you. They've been so angry that they'll say, I'll show you, and then they can't fulfill anything in their lives, and then they end up failing because their anger has really prevented them from moving forward and being successful. They're so wrapped up in what somebody didn't do to make them happy. What about I'll show you? Half of the other people are successful as a result. So you can't tell though, 50-50, you don't know. Are you going to be in that 50% that fails or the 50% that succeeds? Be very careful with that I'll show you sentence, because you could be on the side of failing. Be very careful. And this whole book is about succeeding. Don't use this sentence to beat yourself up or hold yourself back. Use it to let yourself succeed. If you're going to use that sentence, you better use it to be successful. Otherwise, you're going to be one of those statistics. So who am I trying to punish? Ask yourself that question. Who is it that I'm trying to punish? Why am I doing it? What payout am I getting? What's a payoff for me? And how is it actually hurting them? Okay, let me just venture a guess. It's not hurting them at all. You think you're punishing somebody by being mad at them? Well, let me tell you something. Ain't hurting them. It's hurting you. So you're getting a big payoff by thinking that you've got leverage over somebody, and you most likely do not. So it's only hurting you. So who are you trying to please? There's the third one. Who are you trying to please? Your subconscious needs to please others by either succeeding or not succeeding. Now, I would just venture a guess before we take this off into the success realm that people, because they are unhealthy minded, are always trying to please other people for one reason or another. They just don't want people to be upset with them. It's easier to take the hit and do the thing you don't want to do and feel the obligation that you don't want to have to be obligated for and do the act that you don't want to do and go the place you don't want to go and give the thing that you don't want to give. It's easier to do that than to worry about somebody being mad at you and not liking you and not being pleased with you. How many people can we count in the world? Maybe it's you. Maybe you're that person that you just have to please people because you're so afraid of what they're going to think about you if you say no. Or if you say, I have other things going on. Or if you say, I'm, actually I've got other things going on in my life right now. I've got too many things going on. Perhaps we can revisit this later. And then when they're upset with you, my mother, oh my gosh, this is not in the book. My mother had this great question. She always told me, Suzanne, you don't have to tell people what you really think. You can keep your emotions and your thoughts to yourself. That's a laugh. I don't do that. I'm an open book. I say my opinions readily, and sometimes it gets me in big trouble, right? So, but she always used to say, keep your ideas and your opinions to yourself sometimes. Just keep your mouth shut and it'll pay off. But when you're trying to please someone and they're asking something of you and you don't want to do it or give it or be there or whatever the case may be, and you just say, I don't think I can do that right now. Notice how you've not given why, where, how, what. I don't think I can do that right now. You've not been mean. You used some tact. You said, you didn't even say no. You said, I don't think I can do that right now. And as soon as they start to put pressure on you and say, well, why can't you? You don't have anything to do. You didn't tell me this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. And my mother, the genius that she is, always says you can turn it right back around and ask them a question. Well, why do you ask? You see, it puts it off on them. If they don't like it, that you can't handle that right now, that's not something that you can do right now. And they get all upset and they get all up in your face and they're asking you and they're putting some pressure on you, and just say, well, why do you ask? In other words, it's none of your business. It's none of your business. So personal power, boundaries. If you can set up some boundaries for yourself and stop feeling so freaking obligated to make everybody happy and keep the plate spinning, and if they're going to ask you to do one thing, just wait. They're going to ask you to do something even more. And then just wait. They're eventually going to push themselves in on you even more. So you've got to be careful. You've just got to protect yourself. All right. The thing I'm going to read is this. The real question in either case is, what are you really afraid of? What are you really afraid of? If you're really honest with yourself, you might find that you're really afraid of disapproval of others or not looking good to the outside world. Bam! You just don't want the disapproval of others. Well, you know what? How about looking forward to your own approval? How about seeking the approval of yourself and being able to look at yourself in the mirror and feel proud of your own decisions? And how about being proud of what God thinks of you? You only report to one person, yourself and God, last time I checked. So he's the only approval that you should be seeking. So ask yourself the question, who am I trying to please? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing? Ask yourself, and you're going to find out the answer to that question. It could be something powerful that will change your life and get you to stop wasting so much time. Some of you are out there wasting so much time pleasing everyone that you don't have enough time to go after your own ambitions. Have you thought about that? And then, what am I really afraid of? And I love what he says about fear. Fear is not this cliche of, you've heard it over and over, false evidence appearing real. Okay. He's like, get rid of that. That's just something that some IGMO wrote, made up. It's an acronym. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Okay. He says fear, and it's so true. Fear is an emotion caused by the expectation of pain. You expect to feel some pain, and therefore you have an emotion that precedes it. That's what fear is. Fear is a very real human emotion that occurs when you anticipate or expect that somebody or something may hurt you. So it can get a hold of you, and it can really keep you from growing. It can hold you back. So we experience the feeling of fear when we perceive that we are not in control of something. It takes real, internal, powerful strength to do what is best for you and not to just please others. To face the fear of disapproval. And, might I add, to face the possibility of being alone. I am speaking from experience. Okay? You are not going to make everybody happy. You are just not. The bigger the team that you have, the more emotions, the more people's opinions and personalities there are that come out. People are not going to like you. Not everybody will. You have to continue to be yourself. If you know that you're doing the right thing, if you know that you're saying the right things, that you have the best intentions, and you let those intentions be known, and you communicate those with love, then that is all you can do. You cannot constantly worry about whether or not people approve of you or like you. You just have to move past this. So, one last thing we're going to read. How can you release your fear? One great way to overcome fear is to accept the pain. Just go ahead and accept it. That you might feel as a result of your own actions. Self-preservation, stop feeling obligated, stop punishing people, stop pleasing people. Those are your actions, okay? So go ahead and face the fear. So what if that person disapproves of you? Are you gonna die? As far as we know, no one's ever died from disapproval. So sure, you might feel some pain when somebody disapproves of you. Oh, big whoop. Who cares? Big deal. Newsflash, you're already in pain anyway because you're so worried about people's approval, and you're so worried about punishing somebody that's not treating you right, and you're so worried about protecting folks. You're in pain already. Might as well get rid of it. Go ahead and face the fear. So you might as well go ahead and try to do whatever you're afraid of doing. You might just find that the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, really amazing poet, were eminently true. Quote, inside of us, we all know that on the other side of fear lies freedom. Freedom. So the last thing I'm going to say is you've got some affirmations right here. You can read those. Those are questions you need to ask yourself. The last thing I'm going to say right now is this. I have experienced all these things that I'm saying to you tonight. I am speaking from experience. Even though I'm a type A personality with bold courage and I'm out there and I'm confident, I love people to love me. I want to be loved. I want to be liked. It kills me when somebody doesn't, but I have to just get past it. And I work on it, and I do. And it's okay. It's not easy. It takes courage. But it's called self-love. It's not selfish to love yourself enough to create personal space mentally, physically and emotionally for yourself that is supportive and loving, and a boundary system around yourself where people cannot invade on your time and on your resources and on your own personal needs and your family. You have to take care of yourself, and you have to do what you think is right and start doing those things for yourself. It's not selfish to do it. It's not selfish. Take care of you. No one else is going to do it. You're the first defense mechanism in taking care of yourself. Personal power is going to lead to success. You want to be successful? Well, personal power is going to precede being successful. Okay, that's the end of that. Let's have a discussion about it. By the way, this would have been a great discussion to be a part of. So if you're not on live with us, you're missing out. I am so sorry. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but I'm turning off the recording right now because I have a feeling we're going to have a really great discussion. All right, thanks for joining us. Love y'all. See you next week. No, wait. Next week, I'm taking Monday off because we're out of town in Massachusetts. So chapter 9, 2 weeks from now. And let me go ahead and just give you the date. Those of you who are actually listening and paying attention and watching the playback. Today is the 2nd. We will skip the 9th. We will not meet on the 9th. We will meet on the 16th. And no, take that back. I think it's the 17th. That's a Tuesday night because we fly back on the 16th. So Tuesday night, the 17th of April, 2018 at 7 p.m. That's our next chapter, and that's chapter 9. So we'll see you then, and I'm turning it off.